Hey everybody, it's Lionel recording from my backyard. I just want to say that I know that the audio quality in these podcast episodes is pretty terrible. We're recording using phone or desktop audio, except for Marco, who of course has an actual microphone. Getting USB mics for podcasting is really hard in the middle of the pandemic. We've got stuff that's not going to ship until August, so bear with us, please. Forgive us our poor audio quality, and I promise you that we're doing everything we can to improve it and make ourselves easier to understand. Thanks a bunch.
Hey everybody, welcome to Fish and Grits Podcast, the newest and some might say the best podcast about Atlanta sports, culture, news, and everything in between. I'm your MC, Lionel. I'm joined today by my panelist of three, starting off from Marietta. He's got the voice and hair of a rock and roll Hall of Famer, but his sports takes are decidedly B-side. It's Marco Restrepo. Hey!
What's happening, y'all?
In the bottom left-hand corner, his takes, his phone, and his haircut are all from the midnight. I'm going to start over. Damn. I missed my first part. I've been practicing this all night.
You missed your key. Right?
All right, I'm just gonna start off the top with Micah. In the bottom left-hand corner, he's the only person to ever go to school with Sean McVay and not get a head coaching job. It's Micah Poole.
Wow.
And in the bottom right-hand corner from Lakeside High School, the Ginger Giant, the blackest white man I know, and the only person north of Tallahassee who would admit to being a Florida State fan, it's Ryan Dollar. Today's podcast is brought to you by my debilitating sense of disassociation with the world. I haven't left my house in quite a long time, and it's really affecting me emotionally. So just keep that in mind as we're going. All right, guys, what's up? How we doing?
Doing great, doing good.
We're good?
No sports, man.
Yeah.
I actually got to watch some sports today.
Which one?
Live Japanese baseball.
Oh. What channel is that on? The Ocho?
ESPN.
Okay, nice.
ESPN 8.
I was thinking about waking up at like 1 to watch the Korean Baseball League, but then I decided that I'm not that. We picked a great time to start a sports podcast.
Yeah.
I know there's other times we could have done it, but what better time than now, you know?
I mean, we're all stuck in the house, so whatever. All right, well, we did have some sports movement within the last little while, right? We had the NFL draft, which was done virtually. I don't know about you guys, but I was yelling boo at my TV when the commissioner would come on. And I actually got my kids joined in on it too.
Nice.
Jackson was like, yeah, he's like, why are we booing? I was like, because he sucks. Like, well, what? So why is he still the commissioner?
Exactly.
We got a lot of stuff to catch you up on, boy.
We all have that question, Jax.
What did you guys do for the draft?
Stayed home.
Yes. Sit at home and watch it on.
You didn't try to do anything like draft party fun by yourself?
No. Did you?
No, I went to bed.
Lionel was probably the first out of all of us.
And the group chat was going, but I watched till like pick like 8, and then I put Violet to bed, and then after that I was like, I'm just gonna catch up on the scroll.
Who do we
in the
pick?
morning. Right.
That's what I did too. Like I watched a good amount of the first round, but I was out.
I watched the entire first round, and I made it through all the first 3, and after that I kind of followed.
I feel like Micah watched 4 through 7 because like he thinks that's where the real gems come from. That's where the real.
No, I watched up to pick 30, and then the next morning I found out that the Chiefs got Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and it was just like, yeah, it's over. Season's over.
Probably the best pick of the first round.
You thought he was going first? You said
he was at me?
What'd you say?
Who
I
said
said
what?
he was probably the best pick of the first round
Oh, okay, yeah.
as far as pure fit goes.
Yeah. It's like, they
We've
got
had a
another
couple of
weapon
those
if
the
they
last
need it.
couple of years, right? Like
Yeah.
the Ravens moving back up to grab Lamar,
Yeah,
like the
that was
Chiefs
revolutionary.
pick. I mean, but like they just bided their time, and then they came in at number 32, and they got a Pro Bowl caliber quarterback.
A
To have an organization ran as well as the
franchise-building
Ravens.
quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Ravens just knock it out the park all the time.
Yeah, so that's a good segue. So we don't have the Ravens front office. I would trade our entire front office staff and the giant bird statue out in front of Mercedes-Benz to have some of Ozzie Newsome's brain in that draft room. But let's talk about the Falcons draft. How did they do? What's your gut reaction, Ryan?
I loved it. I mean, y'all knew pre-draft I was all on AJ Terrell. I feel like he's probably the most complete corner amongst the three that were out there. He can do man and zone. And zone way better than anybody else out there. So I loved it. And the Marlon Davidson grab, the Hennessy grab, what's his name, Michael Walker. Those guys were all huge hits to me. So I mean, I would give them an A-. I would say. We didn't grab like a game changer at any position, but we grabbed people that fit our needs and are going to do exceptionally well. And AJ Terrell can actually be a game changer depending on how we deploy him. So I really loved it.
I did like it. I liked it too. I still thought we kind of reached a little bit on Terrell. I think we might have been able to trade back trade back a couple picks and still get him and potentially get a few picks more. But because I really wanted Kinlaw. Damn Niners.
Well, we all know whose fault that is, okay?
Spoil Atlanta sports all again. But I mean, whatever. But liked him, loved Marlon Davidson. Hennessy was a great pick because we definitely need to look for the future once Alex Mack retires, and which will probably be after this season or next season or two. So yeah, I loved it. I say B+.
Marco?
So I mean, I was pretty happy with it just because we stick to drafting for need, and that's what you usually want your team to do during the draft. But I think like what I've seen is a whole bunch of grades like A's, B pluses. I've seen C minuses. I even saw an F from US Today, and they said about Terrell, they're like not all that great at playing football, and that's literally their quote on him. But I think what that just says, you'll never know until these guys get in there, get coached up. But my favorite pick was Davidson, and because he's like big, and I know he sounded determined on that interview on the radio, so I feel like he was a big pickup. And I don't want him to be like versatile like they were saying. I feel like he should really focus on, just one position and getting good at that, because that's really what we need. And with Terrell, I think also, didn't you say he had a fever, Ryan, during the
it was reported that he played the national championship game with a 103-degree fever, but it hasn't been verified. I mean, there were I think 4, including Dabo, that came down with flu-like symptoms that week, and who knows what that could have been then at that period of time.
So with all that, all
Corona.
You never know. And I love Hennessy. I thought that was an essential pick.
Yeah.
A guy to bring in. We even got a punter, and he tackles. He said that on the radio, so that's cool.
Hofricker's nice.
Yeah. And then we got some guys to give Rico. I think Rico will stay in his position, but we got some guys just to challenge him, just because there's so much youth, and it's valuable to have him there. The Clemson thing's still weird that they still draft Clemson players, and overall, I thought it was pretty cool that the draft, they were sort of forced to almost, not to say blindly, because you have footage, and I really feel like that's all you really need, but it's like they had to pick all these picks without really getting these guys and seeing them, and it was just interesting.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's also pretty cool that since they had to do everything virtually, we didn't end up with any scandals. Like, didn't we have a Falcons coach ask some dude if he liked dudes last year during the draft or something like that? Like,
yeah, the Ohio State guy or someone like that.
Was it Eli Apple?
Yeah, I think so.
That's who it was. Yeah, 2 years ago with Eli Apple. Yep.
Yeah. So I have a completely different look on this draft than y'all do, and I'm going to tell you why. This franchise, in its current form, has got 2, maybe 3 seasons before we have to blow it up, right?
True.
Like, we can't pay everybody the way that we've been paying them. Everybody's right in the window. You know what I mean? Like, we've got our impact pieces are about to contract out. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're paying Grady Jarrett a ton of money. We already lost Free, who, he was never the same after the injury, but still,
we didn't even get anything for him either.
No. And we can't keep reloading.
As you can see, no one wants him though.
Right.
Detroit
but that's
did.
sort of
Detroit did, but we didn't trade him.
that's sort of what I'm saying is, like, we seem like we're in a win now situation. Like, we haven't been moving pieces to gain draft capital. We haven't been operating like the Ravens or the Patriots do, where you draft super well, and then when a guy's getting, like, he's going to want way too much money, you're just like, and trade him for like 6 round picks that you turn into a 2nd round pick that turns into a Hall of Famer. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So we're paying people, and, like, as far as I'm concerned, there are 4 players on the Falcons roster that earn their paycheck, and that's Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, Deion Jones, and who is my 4th one?
Debo?
Nope, Grady Jarrett.
Grady,
Yeah. Grady Jarrett second.
Grady Jarrett's just.
You got to say Rico earns his paycheck though.
Well, Rico makes like $7 million a year. That's not too bad.
That's a little much.
I'm talking about the guys who are like
the big name
guys.
Guys.
Who's like, don't get rid of this guy. I think Rico earns his paycheck, but if we let Rico go and replace him with another free safety, it's sort of whatever.
What about Todd Gurley now?
I think Gurley's got to earn his way onto the team. I'm not going to make any guesses, but what I'm saying is that, like, it feels like we could either have acknowledged that we got to build for the future, right? Or we could make impact signings at impact positions and go for it all in the next 2 years. And we didn't do either of that. Like, we did like a mix in between the two, right? Like, if Kinlaw was the guy, like, how many holes did we really have on the roster before we came in?
Not that many, honestly.
Defensive end and cornerback.
Defensive end, cornerback, running back.
More defense.
But we got Gurley, so the running back isn't a thing.
Dante Fowler.
And Ito is fine in, in that kind of role, and like the running back by committee, But, like,
so you think
we're going to try to make this. Sell the farm, dude. Thomas Dimitroff is playing like he's going to be here for the next 6 years. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I feel you.
I don't know if y'all heard about that. We tried to trade up, and we tried to give up a lot of draft capital, but Arthur Blank said, "No, y'all are on the hot seat this year, and if you don't do, like, I'm not going to mortgage the future for you guys because there's no guarantee that you're going to be back." Right. So I'd rather have a team with multiple draft picks in the future than just to go after one player.
But we're in this predicament because he's giving out lifetime Falcons like he's Oprah or something. You're a lifetime Falcon.
You get a ring of honor. You get a ring of honor. Austin Hooper's going to be in the ring of honor.
Right.
Look, okay.
But what did you think they should have? So, I mean, but other than that, like, I think that the crazy thing about the Falcons is that we did so bad the first half of the season. It's like, it's so hard to look at this team seriously until, so it's like we weren't even missing that much to where we should have been that bad. And I think the fact that they, I'm just hopeful that the fact that he handed over coaching duties really makes a difference, and that these guys, they can plug it in, because his concept is good, but he just can't oversee it, So
Seattle-based defenses have, what was the stat that I saw? Seattle-based or Seattle-inspired defenses have given up the biggest leads in Super Bowl history in the last 10 years. And four of the biggest Super Bowl losses or biggest Super Bowl upsets of the modern era. 2 were Kyle Shanahan, 2 were Dan Quinn, and 1 was both of them. So like, it's the San Francisco model of defense, right, which is what we're running, is based all along defensive line pressure. And as the game goes on, if you can't manage the game well, the pressure starts breaking down. And if you don't have the coverage for that, you're fucked, which is what happened with us in the Super Bowl, right? It's like we were dominant. And then, of course, like our right tackle went out, our center was playing with a fractured ankle, you know, like all this other stuff was going on. But like the biggest problem is that we didn't manage the game on the offensive side well, and our defense wore down because we didn't have the coverage to make up for it. So, and it's going to be even worse now because we have Dirk 4 verticals cutter, right? Like that man does not play possession football. Oh, they've removed the 40-minute time limit on our group meeting. High five, everybody. Thanks, Zoom. Not a sponsor. So what I'm saying is that like this team is going to underachieve without something major. Like this whole like, let's run it back from last year, you know, like you can't do it. So you either have to radically change the coaching staff, right? Which I don't understand how Sean McVay's butler is not our offensive coordinator right now. Like Matt LaFleur went from being a quarterbacks coach to an OC that did nothing, and now he's the head coach in Green Bay, and it looks like he's doing
13-3.
And Dan Quinn just looked at him like he was some kid or something. Like
right, but we had Steve Sarkisian.
That was the worst decision in Falcons history, almost.
So what I'm saying is that like if you're not going to upgrade on the coaching side, which like please go hire someone from like Tucker High School, because like you can save a ton of money, you know, on your offensive coordinator. It's going to be better. Then you've got to have the pieces in those positions to make up for the coaching difficulties. And none of the guys that we drafted will make up for our coaching, except that punter who can tackle, because that's an essential part of our special teams package. Because Matt Bosher was our best tackler for the past 4 years. So
Bosher, laying them out.
The fact that your punter even has to put his hands on anybody is just sad.
Listen, but I think they like let the guys get a little bit farther than normal because they liked watching Bosher just hit the shit out of them. Like that dude, right? He's like Dante Robinson, but like
can't put that on tape though, man.
He didn't do as many cartwheels.
That's why Jessica likes him so much. Is he's like, I mean, he might miss a lot and do a bunch of cartwheels, but when he hits somebody, it knocks him out. Again, he knocks himself out too.
Deshaun Jackson's best friend.
Did y'all look at the schedule?
Yeah,
I did.
Did y'all pick it out? I got them going 11.
I haven't done a win-loss yet. No.
11-5.
Yo, I got my picks right here, man.
It was a rough start.
Hold on. Let me pull up. This is gonna be fun. Let me open a new tab.
Yeah.
Right now. I'm over here podcasting.
We'll go. You want to pull it up and go one by one game?
Yeah. And I'm actually going to. This is gonna be fun. I'm going to write down what everybody's answers are, and we're gonna do a retrospective. Hang on.
Oh god.
Oh, I should have been way more prepared for this than I was.
Especially with that murderer's row down the end of the season.
Hey man, I picked it how I saw it.
New document. Okay, so we're gonna go week and Marco, Ryan, Micah, Lionel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17 weeks, right?
Yes.
Kyle to the right hand side.
We're definitely coming out with a dub.
Is that our bye week?
Yeah.
All right. Week 1. Who's the opponent?
Seattle.
Marco, winner. Win, lose, or draw?
Win.
Ryan?
Loss.
Micah?
Win.
I'm gonna say loss. I think we're gonna be too rusty. All right, week 2. I don't have the schedule up because I don't have that much time.
Cowboys.
Dallas.
Cowgirls. Marco.
I got them taking that L to Dallas.
Ryan. The dub. Micah.
Win by 25.
I'm gonna say
Put it down.
I'm gonna say a win
Put it
too.
down.
I'm gonna put it down. I'm gonna say a win too because I think Dallas is a clown show. Week 3.
Yeah, they're
Even with McCarthy,
Bears.
I think they did some nice things.
Chicago.
And Dak's brother died, so I think he's going to be on a mission. I think
week 2. I think week 2 we beat the brakes so bad off Dallas that Dak Prescott loses his starting job.
Hi, Marco.
I think that's our get somebody fired game for this season.
Julio goes for 290.
Hey.
David Wickery again.
They don't have Byron Jones anymore, so.
All right, week 3, who we got?
Chicago.
Trubisky comes to town.
No,
Marco?
Big Dick Nick comes to town. Trubisky.
Big Dick Nick by then. Yeah, Trubisky.
Yeah.
He's toast.
Week 3, he's gone. Okay,
I
so
think
for me,
Mitch Trubisky is going to fight. He's a fighter.
Yeah, if you mean by punching Nick Foles in the face, yeah. That's about the
Or
only
kissing
fight he's gonna
his
put
only
up.
shot.
Man, that guy, Mitch Trubisky, is a tough quarterback right there.
Oh my God. Marco, give me a win-loss.
I think I got to win.
Ryan?
I'm going to go win.
Micah?
I'll say W.
I think we lose. I think this is a trap game. I think their defense is
Trap
too
game.
good, and I think we come in, we're like, it's Mitch Trubisky, and then this is his last game too. His second to last game as a starter, but he throws for like 375 and 4 touchdowns and no pick.
If I see that again, I'm stopping. Because that's what happened with this season. We made a whole bunch of terrible quarterbacks look elite consecutively. Yep. Deshaun looked like Clemson, like he was winning a championship.
Mobile quarterbacks killed us this year.
Yeah.
Well,
every
I'm
quarterback
just thinking
killed us
about
this
how
year.
like our whole history, like when Ryan and I weren't we at the Colts game where Brian Hoyer was starting? No, it was what's his name? Who was the guy who was in Seattle? His brother's on NFL Network.
Oh, Hasselbeck.
Hasselbeck threw for like 350, and we were like, what? That was the game that Kyle Shanahan threw 3 passes to Roddy White in a row, and then
just to prove it to the fans, like he's done. Watch.
All right, week 4.
Week 4 is at the Packers.
At the Packers, I got to win.
Marco, Ryan,
I think we're getting some revenge.
I say that's a loss.
Yeah, I think A-Rod's on a mission this year.
Yep.
I think, and then Green Bay, they got their, they rocked their boat a little bit, so people a little salty. I think they're gonna have a little rough time.
I think if I had to make a ridiculous prediction about that game, it would be that we are up by 14 in the third quarter. Aaron Rodgers goes out with an injury. Jordan Love comes in and then beats us.
Let's go.
Can you tell I've been watching
poetic.
Falcons football for a while? All right, week 5.
Panthers.
At Atlanta.
Panthers, I got to win.
Win.
Ryan? Micah?
Win.
Yeah, that's a dub. Panthers are going to be fucking trash. They're going to be bad. Week 6.
They'll be better than you think. But
Yeah, I think so too. So I was a little iffy on one of the. I thought maybe they'd split, but 6 is at Minnesota.
Yeah.
Marco?
And I got to win there. Some revenge.
Ryan?
I'm going to go win. I don't think the Vikings are going to be that good this year.
Micah?
I say loss. Kubiak as offensive coordinator scares me.
I'm with Micah on that one. 7?
7 is the Lions at us. And I say we lose to the Lions. We come and underestimate them.
Ryan?
It depends if Stafford's healthy at this point, but I'm going to go win anyway.
Micah?
I say win.
Yeah, I think we pull it off at the death against John Matthew Stafford. Even though he and Matt Ryan are best friends.
But Julio's going to take him out to the shed and show him what.
I think True might be like, man, I'm one of the best corners in the league, but it's because he has never had to cover Julio Jones in a game
He's
situation. So
First week he'll see.
Anytime he
he'll see
covered
it.
Mike Evans, it wasn't pretty.
I mean, he doesn't travel, so he rarely has to cover like Michael Thomas or anybody.
Yeah. Right. They always put him
I
on
would
the
line
off.
Julio up on Desmond Trufant for that whole game.
Me too. But they'd double him.
Yeah. Okay. Who cares?
Well, AJ, look at what happened when he played AJ Brown last year. A rookie just torched him.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
It
All right,
happens
week
so
8.
often.
At Panthers. Thursday night football.
I think this was my toughest one, but I think we're going to get that win too.
Ryan?
Yep.
Micah?
I say they upset us right there.
I'm going to say a win because I think Matt Ryan has the best record of any starting quarterback on Thursday night football.
He loves
Really?
Thursday night.
Yep.
Good stat.
And I'm a baseball fan, so
I
believe in this crap.
I think Teddy Roosevelt though. Teddy Roosevelt has
I hate that he's in our division and not on my team. That's my guy, man. All right, week 9.
Broncos at Atlanta.
I got to win. I think Drew Luck is sort of – what's his name? Locke.
Drew Lock. Big cock
Sort
lock.
of overrated, but I don't know. We'll see. He got so many weapons.
So you think –
I'm going to go loss.
Ryan's a loss. Marco, what were you?
I said we're going to beat him.
You said he's a win.
Okay. Micah?
I say win.
I think we win this one.
I don't know, man. That run game and that defense.
Yeah.
I think our run defense will be a whole lot better.
KZ has 2 picks.
And here's also the thing. We suck the week before the bye week.
Right, but we are coming off extra rest.
Yeah.
If we're still healthy, it's Vic Fangio. I'm not convinced about him as a head coach. I'm not convinced about their offensive staff. I know Drew Lock will probably give us fits because that's what he does. But I still think we'll pull it off. So 10's the bye, 11.
Falcons
at the
Saints.
Marco.
I say we take the L coming off the bye.
Ryan?
I say we take the dub because we're great off the bye.
Micah?
I say we go down there and spank their ass.
I think we lose. I think Taysom Hill throws a touchdown. We're in New Orleans. He's
the
a
game winner.
Player.
I say Jameis is probably starting by then and throws a pick 6 to lose the game.
Oh, that would be great news for us if Jameis is starting by week 11.
You know, you realize that he's just been going places that they have crab, right? Crab cakes, crab legs, soft-shell crab,
addicted.
po' boys.
Addicted.
All I'm saying is that Jameis is going to be like 30 pounds overweight by the time the season starts because he's been quarantined in New Orleans with all those po' boys for so long. He's going to make Calvin Benjamin look like what's his name? The Landry.
Oh God.
Oh man, beignets and po' boys.
And he's thinking like a backup now. He's
right.
not. He's glad not to be the QB1 anymore.
Right.
He's
Look,
like,
I'll
I'd
be
love
happy.
to come there and learn.
I'll be happy if Debo has another pick 6 and we hit Drew Brees again so his neck stretches out like super far to the side like he did that other year. All right, week 12. I hate to say it. Week 12.
Chargers.
Raiders.
Wait. Okay.
John Gruden comes to town.
I gotta win.
God. Ryan?
I'm gonna go loss.
Micah?
I say we beat the Raiders.
How do you guard all 9 wide receivers at once, though?
I'm going to say we lose, but we shouldn't because the Raiders are another clown college worth of a team, right? Like,
well, you're just saying it's the AFC curse, right?
No, I'm saying it's because we consistently lose to teams that we should not lose to. So, like,
I mean, I just say he drafted in the spirit of Al Davis. It was just like, all right, let's grab all the fastest players at every position, and that's how we're going to fill this team.
That works on Madden. That's why I play as the Raiders on Madden. Traditionally, Anyway, 13.
Derek Carr is not like he lost his soul or something. Like something happened.
Saints come to town.
Because John Gruden is his quarterback, and he got rid of his wide receiver, like his best friend. He was like, "Nah, we don't need that guy. Here, throw to Crabtree."
That guy.
You know who I liked? Warren Sapp. Let's bring him in.
Let's bring that Hunter Renfrow guy in here. That guy's a nice
he's
right there.
John Gruden is like Bill Belichick in that he likes staffing his whole team with white people at weird positions, but he's bad at it. I'm here for the takes. That's what I'm here for. Week 13. Is that the Chargers?
No, the Saints come to town.
That's
The
Saints.
Saints. I say we win that one.
Ryan?
I'm gonna repeat 2019, win on the road, lose at home.
Micah?
I say we lose that one.
I'm gonna say we take the dub at the Benz. Just because I need some hope. Week 14.
Chargers.
I say we take the L just because we always lose to AFC teams.
I'm gonna go win just because they're gonna have a rookie quarterback or Tavares Jackson, and yeah, Justin Herbert is not the answer. He's gonna be one of the biggest.
Not Tavares Jackson.
Not Tavares Jackson. He's dead.
Yeah. Oops. What is his name?
Tyrod.
Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod Taylor.
You
Yep.
said Tavares. Oh man, Tyrod. It's Tyrod, guys. He's gonna be mad.
Tyrod.
Oh yeah, Tyrod Taylor.
It's
Micah?
Tyrod.
Yeah, I say we win that one. Tyrod Taylor just not known for putting up points. I think we just outduel him, but it's going to be fairly close.
I like Tyrod. I say we take the dub. I think that's the game that gets Justin Herbert benched for the rest of the season so that he can learn. I don't think Herbert's it.
I think Tyrod starts.
You do?
You think so?
Yeah.
All right. Week 15.
Buccaneers
Tampa Bay.
at home.
Taking that dub, man.
The
Overrated.
first time we see the Bucks in Week 15.
Overrated. Taking that dub.
Okay, Marco. We heard you. Ryan?
At home. Man, I got so much offense. Win.
Micah?
I say win. Yeah, okay. I'm not sure, but I'll take win.
I think we lose the fuck out of that game. I think Tampa's kept it super close with us the last couple of seasons. The only reason that we've been able to pull away is because Jameis sucks.
Yeah.
I also believe in Brady.
Really good team.
I think Brady just looked so washed last season. It's hard to believe.
I think Brady was bored last year.
Like he was tired of throwing the third-string wide receivers.
Mm-hmm. Got something to prove, and Bruce Arians as his coach.
Yeah,
and Gronk is back.
And Mike Evans, and we don't have enough pressure.
I feel
to
like you got them in
Bruce
the Super
Arians
Bowl right now.
No, I think Tampa misses the Super Bowl, but I think they win the division.
I have questions about all of that, but he definitely got some weapons now. But
let's circle back to that after this scheduled thing.
Week 16.
That is at the Chiefs.
At KC, taking a big L.
In Kansas City.
I'm just going to say that we all agree that they lose because I don't want anybody to be wrong about that.
I don't think
week 17 the Bucks again.
Less than 20.
I think Matt Moore might be starting that game, so we might have a shot.
We might lose by 17.
Chiefs
Matt Moore's another one of those quarterbacks.
Bench everybody. We might have a shot to win that one.
Matt Moore's one of those quarterbacks.
15-0 at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. All I'm saying is that Matt Moore's one of those quarterbacks to me that feels like he comes on, or he starts because they've already locked up first seed in the AFC, right?
Yeah.
Like they're just like, okay, we're gonna start. Like our offensive line is mostly gonna play, but we're gonna put a bunch of rookies and backups and stuff like that in. Matt Moore comes in, the Falcons go in, they're like, we're fine, and then Andy Reid's just like, he eats like the biggest cheeseburger, and then he like they have like 950 yards of offense against us. And everyone's just like, what?
Matt Moore goes 22 of 26 for 4 touchdowns and
all I'm saying is that if
375.
Andy Reid's one of those dudes that if Bill Belichick didn't exist, we would be talking about Andy Reid as one of the greatest coaches of all time.
Yeah.
And if McNabb was in a little bit better shape.
Or
I know, right?
Had any kind of awareness, any kind of awareness at all. Oh, we're down 3 scores and the clock is running. Maybe I should go no huddle or something.
I think if Michael Vick doesn't get creamed on that goal line run a few years ago, right? Not the Dream Team year, but the year before, right?
Oh, okay.
And he gets like smushed on the goal line and like fractures a rib, goes out for the rest of the year. Yeah. They go to the Super Bowl because that team was you couldn't do anything about it. Everyone was like,
Vic
oh
going
shit.
deep to Deshaun Jackson was the prettiest thing I'd ever seen.
Everyone was like, that was the year that everyone was like, wait, Mike Vick can throw? Like, I'm telling you, man. Oh. Anyway.
Just a flick of the wrist.
17, that's the Bucks again, right?
Yep.
I say we get that W, and
Ryan?
That's our 15.
I'm going to go that's a loss because Bucks and Saints are still fighting for the division at that point. And they come out and just mollywop us.
Micah?
I say it's a loss. Which
I say it's the L because it's Tom Brady.
So what does that put us all at? What are our records?
Marco's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 5. Ryan's got us at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 7. Mike has got us at 1, a big win in week 2 by 25. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 and 6. And me, the optimist, 1, 2, 3, 4,
7 and 9.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 9. Yep. I think we go 7 and 9, and this is the end of the Thomas Dimitroff era in Atlanta. All right. One more topic. I think that this one, hold on, predictions. This is going to be so much fun to come back to. All right, let me spread the chat back out. One more on the NFL, and then we'll take just a little bit of a break. Tom Brady in the Bucks. How does this change what was already the most annoying division in all of NFL football to be a fan of?
Go on, leadoff hitter, Marco.
Well,
yeah, come on, Mako.
Well, so this one, it hurt because, I put a bet around Thanksgiving. I bet someone that Tom Brady wouldn't end up on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I lost $1,000 on that bet. So added to that, obviously.
You lost the stack?
I lost the stack. I thought it would – during Thanksgiving, I was like, Tom Brady's not going to the freaking Buccaneers.
Wait, was that Chikey? Or no, that was his brother, right?
Cheaty,
yeah.
Well, wait, okay. Oh, man. All right, what's up?
Yeah, man, I'm not happy about it, but I genuinely think that Tom Brady's like, a little over the hill. We'll get to the playoffs, but I'm not afraid of the Buccaneers.
All right, rebuttal.
I think the biggest thing what it changes is it lets that Tampa Bay defense shine because I don't think people realize how good they were last year. But Jameis continually put them in bad spots. Mm-hmm. You couldn't run the ball in Tampa. Their D-line is as stacked as there is in the NFL. And their pass rush, you saw what Shaq Barrett did playing next to Vita Vea and Ndamukong Suh.
Did they bring Sue back?
Yeah, everyone that was a free agent on their defensive front seven came back. Shaq Barrett
D-line
re-signed,
is nasty.
JPP re-signed, and Ndamukong Suh re-signed.
JPP, or not this.
Yeah. I'm gonna get you, quarterback. So
not gonna intercept.
And they've got Todd Bowles running the defense. Their defense is young, they're good, and Tom Brady isn't going to put him in bad positions. You're going to take even if he throws half the interceptions that Jameis threw,
they win at least 3 more games.
They win 4 more games. Jameis cost them 6 games actually.
Oh man, not to mention the fumbles. But I mean, I think
all that butter from the crab legs.
I think they're going to be vastly better. And like Ryan said, defense is going to be able to shine. They're not going to be scapegoated for the losses when Jameis putting them in terrible position. Oh, they gave up 37. Yeah, because Jameis gave them the ball in the red zone almost every time. So they're just like, all right, well, your field goal position already. Let's see what we can do. But, I mean, I think they're going to be a lot better. I think offensively, though, they still have some holes. They can't run the ball. Offensive line isn't perfect, and they didn't do enough to address the holes in that offensive line. I guess they just kind of figured, all right, well, you know, it'll work itself out.
I mean, they're pretty good still.
Yeah, but I mean,
pretty good.
They had some huge needs, and it was like, yeah, let's just get some other area.
Who's their starting running back?
Ronald Johnson, Rojo.
Is the one from Milton still on there? Is Barber still on the team?
Or Peyton Barber, because
Peyton Barber.
I thought Peyton Barber
went to Milton High School.
And then, not to mention, Bruce Arians just seemed to not run the ball sometimes.
Peyton Barber's not on the team anymore.
Oh, really?
He walked in free agency.
Oh, but I mean,
walked where?
Walked right into free agency with Devontae Freeman.
Well, like I know last year I had Ronald Jones. I picked him up after he had a big game.
Drinking.
Next game, Arians gave him 6 carries. Like, oh, you had a big game? Not gonna give you the ball this game, bro.
Well, Arians calls the game just like Andy Belichick disciple does. He goes off of matchups. You're not gonna see the same thing every week with Arians.
Yeah, but 6 touches to a running back who can run and catch the ball.
Oh, he had bad hands catching, but yeah.
He had some decent receiving yards last year, I think, if I remember correctly.
I think Bruce Arians calls games like he did when he was in Arizona and when he was calling plays in Pittsburgh, which is that he doesn't believe in the running game. He really, really, really likes spread sets, and he does not prioritize giving his offensive line help. Yeah. So remember, Ben Roethlisberger in their last season in Pittsburgh was the most sacked quarterback in the NFL, but he was also averaging like 375 a game through the air, you know, and that was.
So, but do you think an old Tom Brady can take that?
I'm getting to that. Now,
Brady get rid of the ball.
Brady and Carson Palmer are hold on, scramble around a little bit. I'm big and tall, and I'm going to fling it downfield, and we're going to see what happens. Quarterbacks, right? Brady is Captain Checkdown. Now, here's where you start getting into trouble, right? Brady's Captain Checkdown, except he's got Gronk, who's a matchup hell, right? And even if Brady is over the hill, there's no way that Brady is more over the hill than the reanimated corpse of Peyton Manning, who beat the Panthers in the Super Bowl. So as long as they get that defense, good enough offense like thing going, I think they're going to be hard to stop with.
Yeah, but you got to remember, Peyton was benched that season too for Brock Osweiler. He lost his starting spot because he played so bad. He just happened. Brock Osweiler was so bad that he gave it right back to Peyton Manning, who limped his way into the Super Bowl.
But that's what I'm saying is, like, Brady is significantly better than Peyton Manning was, and he has better weapons, right? And I think that.
But they had a great run game.
Right, but you don't need a great run game if you've got a good short passing game. It's all about possession-based football, right? So, like, if you're running the clock.
But do you think Mike Evans is a good threat for short passes?
No.
He doesn't. No, but I don't think he needs to be.
You can't just throw the ball to Gronk all game.
He's a jump ball guy. He's a big deep threat basically, but underneath routes he rounds them off. So people undercut his routes all the time. He's not great underneath.
Who are the next three wide receivers on the Buccaneers?
Yeah, I was about to give you. I think what Lionel was saying is spread them 5 wide. You got Mike Evans, you got Gronk, you got OJ Howard, you got Chris Godwin, you've got
Chris
Cameron
Godwin.
They
Brate.
drafted somebody, didn't they?
Yeah, they drafted what's his name? Watson? No, they got someone
That was
else.
this fast
But I
guy,
mean-
speedster.
Yeah, you got a guy underneath that's going to run like a 4-4.
Yeah, he's the
You
guy
don't-
they
no
drafted to
team
catch
goes
that
5 wide
pass.
receivers
Like
deep.
Lionel's saying.
Or
Yeah,
5 corner deep.
You don't even have to line up that many receivers. Brady's going to spread the ball around. He puts the ball in excellent places, so he's automatically going to make that receiving core better. And if you can't run the ball, you're just going to do 5-yard passes inside the lines, and it's going to be the exact same thing.
I think Arians' offense is going to be based on deep post inverts and just be like, Brady, do not throw underneath, throw it downfield. All we want is 50-yard bombs.
He'll get killed.
I'm going to say that
That's Micah's fantasy.
Bruce
world of
Arians- Bruce Arians doesn't manage that offense as much as Tom Brady is going to.
Right.
That's true.
I think Brady's going to come in, and he and Bruce Arians have already had this conversation. He's going to be like, how many Super Bowl rings do you have, Bruce? And then Tom will be like, I beat the Falcons. You have to do that twice this year, right? Like, it's everything that we've been saying that we want Matt Ryan to do. I think Tom Brady's going to run more of that offense than Bruce Arians is. I think the quarterback situation in the NFC South just got totally fucked. I think Brady has a hell of a year this year. Yeah. And then I think maybe he trails off after this. I think he's got one more sort of middle finger, and then he eats like one chili dog.
How old will he be when the
goes to
season
shit.
starts? Is he
Like
43 now?
50? I don't know.
I think
I think he's 43.
All right. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Bye. We are back. Welcome back to Fish and Grits podcast. We just talked about the NFL. I got one last NFL question for you guys, and I'm going to switch it up a little bit, okay? My last NFL question. We're all Atlanta sports fans. That's our curse. So if the season goes off the rails, right? Like last year, I dipped up to Baltimore in October, so I couldn't watch Falcons games except through Yahoo Mobile on my mobile device. And like I'm going to watch games on my phone. So I watched Ravens games, and I've since decided that I could watch Ravens games. Like, I'm good with this. What is your secondary team or division that you can root for? Is it the Jags because of their cat-themed schedule video from today?
That was
And Gardner
amazing.
Minshew? Is it the Chargers because they have arguably the best uniforms in the NFL now? Who's your secondary team and or division? Marco, lead us off.
I'm a guy. I have to go with the defending champions. I'm a big Pat Mahomes fan, and whatever he does, I get behind.
I think he's going to be really good for a long time. I'm in on that. Ryan?
I've always kind of been a closeted Chargers fan. I don't know why. I've always liked them.
And now they got Darwin.
Yeah,
You always wanted to
Derwin
have
certainly
you wanted to have
helps.
50 kids.
I love the game. Right?
I mean, it seems to be a thing with Cromartie and Phillip Rivers. I mean,
Gosh darn it.
you become a Chargers player and you just have kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. The Los Angeles Chargers have the best uniforms in the NFL.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
that remix was
Like-
really nice.
Oh. Micah, is it the Rams because you and Sean still text each other?
Now, it would be if he gave me a job as one of his assistants, definitely. But
Let's do some background here real quick before we do this. So like this is assuming other people watch or listen to this. Micah went to high school with Sean McVay here in the Atlanta
Who was
area.
his quarterback?
So if you hear me mention Sean McVay and talk about how Micah's the only person who Sean McVay hasn't gotten a head coaching job, this is why. It's a running joke. Please don't at me. My tweets are protected anyway, and I don't tweet. Micah.
That's because Micah tried to kill him in practice. That's why he doesn't have a job.
Hey, I can't help it. You
He's
put
been
me on
blacklisted from the NFL.
That's what I can relate with Marlon Davidson. I killed quarterbacks. That's what my goal was. Sorry
What's
if
that
you're on
backup
my team too.
Micah, you can't pick the 1995 San Francisco 49ers as your backup team. What's your modern backup team?
See, I was gonna say the Rams, but I don't like Goff, so
he's terrible.
I gotta go. I got Pat, my homeboy. You know the Pat Mahomes throw that football. You know how I go.
Kermit the Frog.
Yeah, man.
We know who yours is, Lionel.
Yeah, I like B more, man.
Yeah, it's hard not to.
Yeah, they're fun to watch too.
Yeah.
Part of my thing is I like. So I you know this about me about Teddy, like how I feel about Teddy, right? I like quarterbacks that no one thinks will work. I like players that come into the league and everybody's like, nah, you know, like
Right.
so because listen, like in all sports, because like listen to it, like Jared Goff, he was the number 1 overall pick, wasn't he? The man is terrible. Like
Right.
that was the most boring Super Bowl, and he wasn't there. Like this is another example of why Wade Phillips should have a head coaching job, because like they didn't get to the Super Bowl because Jared Goff's arm. You know, like Mitch Trubisky. What was Mitch Trubisky's resume before he got drafted? He's tall and white.
An average season at
Well, I
UNC.
mean, he had that senior year at UNC that
It was average. They got to a bowl game.
Right.
Yeah.
Now
I mean, he had
explain
a good
Josh
year.
Allen.
A
Explain
decent
Josh
game,
Allen
yes.
to me. Explain Josh Allen to me.
Mitch Trubisky wishes he was Josh Allen. Josh Allen's going to be a star.
Or Sam
You
Darnold.
think so? I think
Yeah.
he might tail off.
Josh Allen is the white Michael Vick.
Right.
Oh, come on.
Josh
come
Allen
on.
had like 5 100-yard rushing games last year.
Josh
all I'm
Allen runs
saying-
more old school than Michael Vick. He runs like an old school style.
He runs like he's 6'5" and white, right? Like all I'm saying is that Lamar won the Heisman Trophy, and everyone's like, wide
receiver.
Yeah, kiss my ass, man. Like it's the same thing with Teddy, right? Like Teddy came in, and everyone's like, he's undersized, plays at Louisville, he doesn't know anything, and he balled out before his leg got amputated, and like it's not his fault. He was playing for was that was the tail end of Leslie Frazier's coaching career, and then he got and then he got 1 year of Mike Zimmer, and then he went to the Saints and played in Checkdown City, you know, Mr. Galaxy Brain Sean Payton, you know, with his 3-yard slant to Michael Thomas. God, I hate the Saints. You know, I like teams like that. I like teams that take guys that, you know, and like Ozzie Newsome or Pat Mahomes. When Pat Mahomes went, everyone's like, you can't run spread in the NFL. Well,
right.
I mean,
I was hating on him in our preseason game that you and me
When
saw.
we went to that,
right?
we were like, oh, he's not going to be that great.
Yeah, and then he like threw a dime, and we're like, oh.
Yeah. Oh, God, I remember it was like 60 yards in the air on a dot.
yeah.
We were like, okay,
And then-
never mind.
When he
Never
tries
mind.
to do those like throws where he's like, he like throws like a tunnel screen, like
No look pass.
yeah, man. And then, you know, I think it's stuff like that. Like, I don't think Kyler Murray is going to be very good, but I think that if like Russ Wilson, I remember Russ Wilson playing at NC State, and then he went
Yeah,
and
I do
played.
too. I have nightmares about that still.
Wisconsin.
Russell Wilson
So
though
good.
was like
Good.
he threw so many picks. Like,
He's too short.
right. He threw so many picks though. Like that kid was coming in throwing picks. Like they gave him a chance to adapt. They gave him a chance to adapt.
I don't know, dude. I think Russ Wilson's one of the most consistent quarterbacks in the league, and I think
Yeah,
that
He's
the fact
become
that
baller.
He's
everybody
carried that
skipped on him.
Seahawks team for years.
Yeah, it's everybody who slept on him should have gotten fired the next year. Like
When you say too many When you say too many picks, Marco, what are you talking about? In college?
And no, just in like those playoff games, like in the leading up to the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, I mean he wasn't because he was put in positions that it was like we're going to run the ball and then we'll let you throw it when we absolutely have to throw it. So teams just sat on the throws. I mean,
right, but he became the guy that can win you the game. Like
for
he
sure.
became that.
He also has a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah.
One or two?
One.
Got one.
Yeah.
Should have had two.
Yeah.
They beat the Broncos, and then they lost to Butler. Yeah. Well, there's that Pete Carroll's Dan Quinn coaching tree. All right, let's move on. Let's jump to shooty hoops really quick. Okay, so I'm gonna set you guys up. You can knock them down. The NBA season. Now the NBA season, much like the MLB season, is way too long. It is too long. Why are we playing the playoffs in like June? It's a winter sport. This is baloney. Cut it in half. That being said, excuse me, this liquid death is. That being said, basketball just like disappeared after Rudy Gobert gave everyone in the world coronavirus after he was patient zero. What an idiot. Basketball vanished, and I am upset about it because basketball after the All-Star game is super fun.
So good.
And LeBron James is the best player in history, and Micah can shove it. So first I want to kind of go around and I want to see what you guys thought about the NBA season that we did get. What were your takeaways? What were your big things? It doesn't have to be Atlanta-centric because we know the Hawks are bad and Trae Young can't play defense. He also has really questionable music taste. I don't know if you follow him on Twitter, but like he's really embarrassing. Like
he's young, man.
And then his ex-girlfriend was on TV with CD Lamb and tried to take his phone.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Trae goes live all the time. He goes live all the time.
Trae is a little too online. You know what I mean? He's like Steph Curry in that he's a point guard and he's corny. But just the NBA season in general, I'm going to start with Micah this time. Micah, what did you think about what we got from the 2019-2020 NBA season?
I had high hopes for it coming in, considering a lot of the superstars spread out, and it wasn't just like a handful of super teams.
You're talking about Carmelo going to Portland.
Not just that, like KD leaving Golden State and all that. And I had high hopes, and then all the players, like everybody became free agents and decided to go to either the Lakers or the Clippers. So it was just like, all right, and it's happening again.
I also want to point out that the year that Golden State could not win the championship because all of their players were hurt, right? The league shuts down. What does Steve Kerr have?
Behind coronavirus is what you're saying?
I'm not saying that he is.
But you're also not saying.
Not saying.
You decide. Sorry, Micah, go on. You were excited and then you were not.
Well, it took away a lot of the parity because it was like, all right, so whoever wins between the Clippers or the Lakers, which I think the Clippers still had the edge, like they're probably going to win the championship because Milwaukee's good, but I don't trust their offense in a 7-game series. Philadelphia, no. Toronto doesn't have a superstar that can carry them in the like Kawhi did last year. So it's like
Boston.
Parity started to leave again for me, but it was a little more fun than the year before, though. I can say that, though.
Ryan, you're whispering Boston.
Yeah. I think, take it back. I think this was the year that we saw the revitalization of the East. Because you had 5, maybe 6 really good teams in the East. You had Milwaukee, Toronto, Boston, Miami. And the Pacers, without Oladipo, were still very good. And once you add Oladipo back into the mix, that's a damn good team. I hold the Pacers and the Nuggets kind of on the same level. They're the team without, like, the true superstar, but a bunch of
Right.
really good stars, and they play really good, really, really good basketball. I think, Marco, we went to that game, and their offense was just clicking.
What was the
Man.
cross-conference record like, though?
Total?
Because I
No, I
remember
didn't.
the Western Conference not really losing to the Eastern Conference teams very much.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
I'm
I'm not
wondering-
saying that they're as good as the top, 3 Western Conference teams, but they certainly wouldn't have got swept in the finals.
Half of that had to do with Philly because they couldn't win any games on the
But as
road.
long as it was at home, they were fine.
Well, Philly's still trying to start Ben Simmons as a point guard. So
Hot take, Golden State needs Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
Golden
Yeah.
State actually doesn't need anything. Like KD left, and they were like, "Okay,
And moving on.
see you, buddy."
And
He's
the
in
Heat,
Brooklyn,
the
right?
Heat were actually a very good team.
I think the Heat were overrated.
Well, I remember arguing with my coworker about them getting what's his name from Golden State.
Klay Thompson.
No, the
Wait, the Heat getting someone from Golden State?
yeah, he was a free agent.
Steven Adams.
It
No,
was
Zaza.
Andre Iguodala.
Oh, Iggy, yeah. Well,
Oh,
they got
Iggy.
him from
They
Memphis.
got Iggy, and they got
Iggy's
Iggy,
washed,
and he was
though.
like, "Oh yeah, that's a huge move." I'm like, "Does it
He's
get
washed,
them out of
man.
the East?" No,
I mean,
don't think
Iggy
I don't
and
think
Sean
they
Livingston.
Milwaukee. Okay, then it's not that big of a move.
Right.
I'm gonna put the Heat.
Who do you think Iggy is?
I'm gonna put the Heat, Ryan, with the Pacers and the Nuggets as a well-coached team with really good pieces that in a normal NBA would win
But-
championships.
They got so many buckets, though. I think you're underrating the amount of buckets. First of all, they have Bam Adebayo, who can protect.
Right,
the
Bam is
paint.
a beast.
He's a walking. He can get triple doubles. You know what I mean? Then you got Jimmy, who's a closer. He brings that grit. He's never gonna not play hard. Then you got Hero. Hero's a bucket, man. Then you got Duncan.
Hero's a
He's a bucket. He hits
monster.
threes. All he does is hit threes. It's like you have buckets from so many places and levels. I
Your-
think that they
Your
can
second
compete with a lot of
string
teams.
Miami Heat team would beat the Hawks.
Well, the
You
Hawks
got
are bad.
Goran Dragic, Hero, Iggy, Drake Crowder, and Olenek.
And Jay Crowder, yeah, like they have depth on defense. They're well
The
coached.
Hawks are bad. That doesn't
Still
make
someone's
the
second
East.
string.
I think you're sleeping on Miami a little bit.
Yeah, I
The
think
Knicks
I don't
are
think y'all
also
think-
bad.
I don't think y'all know how good Miami actually is.
All right, well, we'll never know.
We might
We might.
I don't
I think
think they
Paul-
got out. I don't think
They just got the clearance to test all their players. They got all the COVID-19 tests that they want. So
All right, we're going to take a quick public health break. I just want to tell everybody right now that please don't leave your house unless you absolutely have to. Please stay home. Please write your congressman and your senator and say that we need checks to stay home because people are dying out there. And like, even if you're not dying, it feels like you're drowning inside your lungs. And listen, dude, I will watch someone play 2K. I will watch real life speed 2K games on ESPN and pay for it if that's what I got to do. Just please don't play it safe. Don't take guns to your state capitol and wear, like a scarf on your head and pretend like you're, Ollie the operator. You know what I mean? You're not cool. Please be safe. All right. Moving on. Eric Spoelstra. I was an Eric Spoelstra hater when LeBron was in Miami, right? I thought that this was the same sort of thing where like
Ty Lue.
David Blatt or Ty Lue, it's like he's
David Blatt was
around.
actually a good coach. David Blatt
Right,
was a good coach.
But this
They
is like
scapegoated him.
LeBron's coach, like Luke Walton is the coach, where LeBron is actually the coach, which is why I
It's like, I scratched it. He drew up the play. I scratched it.
But Spoelstra is a really good coach. Like I'm over here like, okay, Pat Riley.
Yeah, exactly. Look at that. The touch, the golden touch.
Lloyd Pierce is not a good coach though.
No.
he's a good assistant.
Unfortunately.
He's a good assistant
Fortunately,
coach.
he's a good player guy. He's good at development. Maybe. Well, allegedly.
I
We
think
thought he
I
was.
think he's good development.
I think so too. Yeah, I'm being tough.
I saw
these guys are coming along.
I saw a lot like Cam Reddish from the first game to the last game. It was just like,
Game
all
60.
right, there was a lot. There was a nice little jump there. Because it was like at first, those first month or so of the season, it was like, is he worth it? But
yeah, he proved he can be explosive sometimes. But just to wrap it about what my opinion was, I think about the whole season. I think
bring
that
it back.
This was like it was a weird season because we had so many stars injured that the NBA was completely different. And I think, like Micah said, it was a little bit LA centric, a little bit heavy on the LA tip, and I think Milwaukee does what they do. So it wasn't necessarily the most inspired basketball I've watched, but I mean, I think I like Houston. I like even though I hate James Harden a little bit, I would cheer for them as my underdog. But the season was a little underwhelming, I'll say. But I was happy Trey was putting up like MVP numbers, but not being an MVP.
Especially after like the relief of Toronto winning last year.
Oh,
like one man and his buddies against the Empire. You know what I mean? Like Kawhi Leonard going from being like, oh yeah, he plays for the Spurs, he could be okay, I guess, but he's no Tim Duncan, to being like,
right. But that was like, it was poetic justice almost.
What it do, baby?
Steph pretty much, like, if you look at LeBron and Steph, they almost had like a mirror thing, because that first title LeBron lost to Steph, it was like he lost all his players, lost the game. The same exact thing just happened to Steph, so obviously Toronto's not going to become a dynasty, but it was interesting.
You're not even on the Fred VanVleet thing? That's not you?
I'm not going to underrate the man, but he's 5'10". He's not carrying nobody.
You can never underestimate a shocker, man.
Okay.
DeMar DeRozan. Oh my! I feel bad for DeMar DeRozan.
I do too.
I don't feel bad for him because he never learned how to shoot a 3-point.
Right? Yeah, it's like.
Like, don't do my boy DeMar wrong like that. Like, come on.
You're like a hero in this city, and they trade you away, and legitimately the next season they win a championship after you get traded out of there. Like, oh.
Micah also prefers the NBA before they introduced the 3-point line. So DeMar DeRozan was like a dominant player in Micah's NBA.
DeMar would have been a beast in the
I feel bad for the guy. It's like, yeah, we love DeMar, but Kawhi is so much better. Yes.
Like, DeMar who?
Yeah,
that's what I thought. I'm glad Lowry got a chip, though.
I hated on him so heavy.
Hard-working dude, man.
I hated on him so because he's like the least deserving all-star consistently. Man. But I mean, I'm not going to say that I'm proud of him or happy for him, but it's good for him that he got a.
He's the reason the East lost the All-Star game.
Yes.
Nobody gives a shit about the All-Star game,
or
man.
Whatever, not the East.
I cared.
Well,
Team LeBron, no.
Team Giannis.
Kyrie.
Consistently loses.
Nick Nurse went with 3 bigs who all play the same way for the whole fourth quarter, and that's why you lost.
Can't shoot. I'm not gonna let anybody slander Nick Nurse on this podcast. I think he is a national treasure for Canada and the United States. It's one of the few good things that we have. So we're gonna move right on. Brooklyn. Let's circle back to Hawks coaches really quick. So Brooklyn just fired Kenny Atkinson for no reason.
Ooh, we should pick him up.
Right? Would you take Kenny Atkinson over Lloyd Pierce? Yes. Yes, me too. Definitely. Okay. I'm glad that we agree on that. I'm not going to ask any follow-up questions. My next just really quick, like mini lightning round question. Who's the most overrated coach in the NBA? Ryan.
Oh, circle back to me. I got to think about that.
Micah. Overrated coach in the NBA.
Yeah, I got to think about that one too.
I got one. My boy my boy over there in Portland. And I don't know if people overrate him. Oh, I got two. But I don't know if people overrate him. But Terry Stotts, I don't know why he still works. He's a terrible coach. And D'Antoni.
Oh, that's what I was going to go with, is D'Antoni.
Yeah, that's but I think that's a whole overrated situation there in general. Between him and the GM, they're both highly overrated.
I thought you were going to say James Harden.
James Harden has changed the game of basketball, not necessarily in a good way, but my God.
He's a beast.
I mean, but I think they're way too reliant on analytics, and it's like, yeah,
mid-range jumpers win championships.
Kawhi Leonard.
No, I mean, but I mean the fact that you trade Clint Capella, and then you run a lineup with a 6'5" forward playing the center because you got James Harden playing the 4 on defense. Because, analytically, this is going to work. It's like –
But it did work. They were like 14-3 with that lineup.
It wouldn't work in the playoffs eventually, but –
yeah.
How do you know?
It worked in the regular season, but 7-game series – I mean, imagine James Harden have to guard AD for a 7-game series.
Like AD will guard himself for a 7-game series. But I think the difference was Westbrook. Like, Westbrook is like that guy. So when the Houston offense gets stagnant, Westbrook will go get a bucket. And that's the thing that makes them an X factor to me. But still, you can't win if you can't get rebounds.
But Russell Westbrook in the playoffs is Brick City in the playoffs.
I'm saying, but he doesn't have to shoot. He can drive. He drives.
Yeah, he doesn't have to shoot anymore. He's got Harden.
Yeah, but if you play the Lakers in a 7-game series,
they'll get out rebounded.
Able to drive, and Harden is going to have to play AD on the block all game on defense. Not a good matchup.
I think Russ Westbrook is probably the worst player to average a triple-double over a season. But I think he's a good piece, right? Like, I don't think
20 is the most impressive stat by the worst player. Like,
it's true. He's got it was really good stats, but he didn't. It's like Matt Stafford's throwing numbers. You know what I mean? Yeah, he averages 425 yards a game, but they were 8-8. It didn't amount to anything once KD left. I think he's a really good piece for Houston. I would have a hard time predicting between Houston and the Lakers, because the Lakers have AD and the Lakers have LeBron James, but they feel a lot like those late Cavs teams that also just have dudes, like J.R. Smith going high-fiving somebody on the sideline, there's a play going, he missed, yeah, or not going out of bounds and LeBron screaming at him, you know what I mean?
Who's
or not calling timeout. There's Rajon Rondo and a whole bunch of people's uncles play for that team.
Do you trust Kyle Kuzma? He's worried about Kardashians.
He is. As soon as he went blonde, he disappeared.
No, I think
he had to do something to stand out, but looks wise, but he didn't stand out on the court no more.
So I think if I don't think AD is enough to carry the Lakers through the Western Conference, and if LeBron falters even a little bit on that team, they're vulnerable, just like Cleveland was at the same period. And this is why you have to have an actual GM and not just LeBron James.
Not just LeBron James running the LeBron James system.
Oh man,
are you talking about
me? Yeah, I'm talking about anybody in the Western Conference, man. It's
even Dallas.
The teams that win are the teams that are deep, right? So
yeah, I agree. I just don't think they would have beat the Clippers. But I think Houston. I don't think they could have beat. I don't think Houston would have beaten them.
What if LeBron picks up a knock and is playing at 80%?
To be honest with you, I think this year I think LeBron played harder this year from start to finish than any other year I've ever seen him play. Because he had a point to prove. Because, the whole hashtag Wash King thing, he was more motivated this year than any other year. But the thing was, he's 34 now, and it's like, dude, if you had the same damn fire and intensity your entire career, it wouldn't even be questionable. By far, the greatest thing the game has ever seen.
We're not having that conversation today. That's a whole episode where we argue about.
I know, right? That's a fun
whole, yeah.
But
Jackson,
but
what are you doing?
on another note, though, Houston, not that good to me. Overrated. They don't beat Clippers or the Lakers. Playoffs, that's it.
All right, so they're talking about the NBA coming back. There's been a whole bunch of different plans. Like, they'll play in Barbados or in Las Vegas in a closed dome, geodesic dome, where no one's allowed to come in so that Rudy Gobert can't give everybody coronavirus again. How would you finish the NBA season? I'm going to go first on this one because I think I have the best idea. I would end the NBA season like it were a European soccer season. The team with the best record has the title. They won the most games. They get the title. So for my calculations, Milwaukee, congratulations, Wisconsin, you get it. I think that's the only way that Budenholzer's going to get a chip. I'm still salty. What's your plan?
Most underrated coach in the NBA, by the way.
Yeah.
Budenholzer?
And him and Brad Stevens, they fell off his train. Like, they stopped
I think Brad
talking
Stevens
about him.
is super overrated.
You think so?
It's like he's Albert Einstein.
He just couldn't rein in Kyrie.
Kyrie's a team killer.
The Kyrie effect.
I think Kyrie's just a weird personality. He's
I
a
don't
flat
think the
earther.
Eastern Conference
Flat
wins
earther.
another championship until Kyrie admits that the world is the Earth is round. It's a curse. How would you end the NBA season? What's your plan for ending the NBA season, Micah? What's your plan? You're the commish. Like the anti-Adam Silver.
I honestly would want playoffs just to get some of the revenue back that you lost due to games. But I'd be like almost like a summer league type deal but it wouldn't be 7-game series. It'd be something much more abbreviated, best of 3, best of 5, because guys are not going to be in game shape and it's going to be very sloppy basketball. So maybe, 5 games, like let teams play like the last 5 games or whatnot, or just to kind of get them into basketball shape a little bit, and then do a best of 3, best of 5 type deal for the playoffs. So
would there be an asterisk next to that championship then, or do you just?
No. I mean that way you couldn't necessarily do an asterisk next to it, because that way
you play it all the way.
Yeah, you play it all the way. So
okay, Mako.
For me, I think the best idea I heard was to have like obviously this is a dream scenario and the logistics are impossible just because the sheer amount of teams involved, but just do like a everybody gets a chance type tournament. And like Micah said, I like that idea, like sort of having it like summer league. So in terms of scheduling, it can get done fairly quickly. But just like have like a 3, best 2 out of 3, everybody gets a chance, and then whoever wins that. But I would be okay with just, taking the seeds as they are and letting it play out like it is and just forgetting the rest of the regular season. Maybe shorten the amount of games. And then, and of course there will be an asterisk beside it no matter what, because I think any shortened season technically gets an asterisk, like the Spurs one and then LeBron's. Those both get asterisks. I had to throw that LeBron thing in there.
You would. Brian?
That he has an asterisk.
I think it's either one or two. You could either bring the season back and give them 10 games and say that the season's ending in 10 games over 2 weeks to let them, recondition, get back into it, let them practice every day, and get back into that rhythm. or let them play 5 games and end the season and do a play-in for the 8th seed. Do like the 8th seed and the 3 teams right below. Let them do like a best of 3 series over 3 days. Let them play and then start the playoffs from there, but like in a condensed format. Or when you brought it up, a NCAA bracket style of just, one and done and crown after that.
One and done would even
But would you do like the 10, like do a couple games before then before you do the NCAA style?
Yeah, you would have to. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I'm about to say, I don't want to see the Hawks in a playoff situation.
Hey, you never know.
Never know, right?
Cold.
We'll be a 16 seed for sure.
Okay, would you pay full price for League Pass if the NBA said that they would give you 5 games for seeding, right? Like between 5 and 10 games to get ready, and then the entire NBA played a single elimination tournament.
Oh yeah,
for a month. Would you pay full price for League Pass? Not like single team, like no.
League Pass is
$40 a
man.
month.
How much is it?
It's like $40 a month.
Isn't it? It's 40.
I think per month. I don't know.
Okay.
It's how much would you pay to watch that? I would pay over $100.
Yeah,
to watch
sports
that
deprived
tournament.
right now. I would.
Yeah, if it were a one-time
also,
payment.
It's chaos, dude. Like all you
Beautiful.
like. Could you imagine if like Minnesota just got hot?
Oh God.
Oh my God.
That was about to be my. That's why I asked you the Minnesota coach was, because he was about to be my pick for the worst coach in the league.
It
Or,
was
like,
in the news
Sacramento?
though. Phoenix said that they were. It was like when I read this story, they were like Phoenix was like their coach said that they think that they could surprise a lot of people. Okay, yeah.
What if they play a single elimination tournament and Orlando makes it into the semifinals?
Let's go. Well, they could.
But wouldn't that be worth like the money? Like I love chaos
the
like
Cinderella
that.
story.
Yeah. And like everybody's like, oh no, we lost the Phoenix. This is dumb. Like, yeah, this is how sports should be. Is like
Right. That's why we love the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, and madness.
Imagine the Lakers getting put out by Phoenix in the playoffs.
Devin Booker not passing one time during the whole game.
My only other suggestion for how we end the NBA season is we just give the trophy to Los Angeles because Kobe died. But we give it to the Los Angeles Lakers, not to any of the players. Like the Lakers get the championship, but none of the players get rings. You know?
I don't want Rob Pelinka to get a ring either. Screw him.
No, it's like Genie Bus and like the city gets like they get a parade, you know what I mean? And like Magic's there and he's all like, yeah, I love this. Everybody's like super happy and whatever. But none of the players are there because they didn't win. You just get it for Kobe. Yeah. It's like the people of it's like when Time Magazine does like Person of the Year, but it's a cop out. It's like a mirror. Like you're the Person of the Year. No, it's like the city of Los Angeles won this championship for Kobe. You know what I mean? That's my other suggestion. Also, R.I.P. Mamba.
Or just make him the logo.
That too. I like the logo that Golden State designed.
But how do you show that he's not passing in a logo?
Well,
One of my favorite.
Jerry West was just dribbling, so I mean,
he's definitely gonna be shooting.
The fadeaway,
right?
The turnaround fade.
Yeah,
you show Farmar in the corner doing this, and Kobe just holding the ball, triple teamed. That's all.
I know 3 people on it.
I think my favorite Kobe Bryant joke that I've ever made was at the end of his career, right? When I was watching him and he was just like throwing them up and he was just like it was the brick. And I was like, man, Kobe is, what happened? And I said, now, if you say Kobe when you shoot a balled up piece of paper, if you miss, it's still Kobe. Like now it's accurate, you know what I mean? Like you hit, you miss, doesn't matter. Kobe Bryant, bro, I'm just gonna shoot my shot.
So it's the fact that you took it.
Right. That's what matters, Marco.
Yeah.
All right. Moving right along. coming towards the end of our episode today. What is the best thing to happen in sports because of the coronavirus? I'm going to give you all a little bit of chance to think. I told you that I had something really good for this, so I'm going to tell you about it. It's super petty. It involves soccer. All right, so Liverpool. You guys heard of Liverpool?
The Beatles from Liverpool.
They are from Liverpool. So Liverpool has probably, that they play in the Premier League. This is mostly for Micah because Micah doesn't know how soccer works. They play in the Premier League. It's the top tier of soccer in the world, like the best players, the most money, like it's bananas, right? And Liverpool's got just an incredible team. Like they're, for the last couple of years, they've been like Mohamed Salah, and just their team is just nuts. And they've got a great coach in Jurgen Klopp. And last year, they came this close to winning the Premier League, but they ended up coming in second place to Manchester City, who won on a record-breaking pace. Like, because it's, like whoever wins the most games, like best record at the end of the year, that's who wins, right? Like City won by like 2 games or something like that. And they like broke every record, but they were looking over their shoulder, looking at Liverpool like shit. So Liverpool won the UEFA Champions League that year, which is, all the top leagues in Europe put teams into a, single or a home and away elimination tournament. And Liverpool did me a solid. They beat Tottenham. Tottenham is like my least favorite Premier League team because I'm an Arsenal fan. So it's great to me that Tottenham was like really good last year, but they have no trophies, period.
Nice.
That's great. So Liverpool this year, they were like, man, Liverpool's going to take the league. So Liverpool spent a ton of money in the offseason. Everybody's just all over their knob. You know what I mean? Like people coming out of nowhere, all of a sudden are Liverpool fans. Like Marcelo's posting on Facebook, our friend Marcelo, he's posting it like he's the most annoying sports fan in the world. He's like, I'm a Boston guy. Like, you're going to live in Boston since you were 4. So like, all of a sudden everybody's a Liverpool fan. I see Liverpool jerseys everywhere. It makes me furious because they were terrible for so long and now they're good. I'm like, damn it, and like my team is bad right now.
The underdog though, people love it.
Right, but they spent so much money that they're not really the underdog. They're just yeah. So Liverpool comes in and they enter into the season as favorites to win the quadruple. So the favorites to win all 4 possible trophies for the season. The Carabao Cup, which is all British soccer teams play a tournament at the beginning of the season called the Carabao Cup. The FA Cup, which is all of the English, so that includes Wales and Scotland. All of the English teams play a tournament. The FA Cup is a really big deal. The Premier League and the Champions League. They were favorites to win all 4. So they come in and they lose in the Carabao Cup. No, like, that's cool. We're still going to win the triple. That's fine. We're still going to win the triple. They get knocked out of the FA Cup. They're like, that's cool, man. We got the UEFA and we've got the Premier League. They get bounced out of the Champions League. But they have like a 15-game or some crazy lead in the Premier League right now, right? But when play shut down, they did not have a mathematical lead. Like they did not mathematically win the Premier League over Manchester City. They had like one more win to where if the season had finished, they couldn't lose. Like they like had it like buttoned up, right? So it's like when you like lock in the playoffs, you know what I mean?
Okay.
You can start resting guys. Liverpool had to win one more game, and then they would have been the champs. The rest of the season wouldn't have mattered. But they shut play down. It gets better. So the Premier League operates on promotion and relegation, right? So the bottom 3 teams of the Premier League get sent down to the 2nd division. And the top 3 teams of the 2nd division or the championship, the EFL championship, come up. And when they come up, they get like 150 million pounds to sign players, to refurb their stadiums so that they can compete. Because these guys are spending like the top earner at Arsenal, Nicolas Pepe, is making like 70 million pounds a year, or 70 million pounds over the course of this contract. He's making like 400,000 pounds a week or something crazy. So like the top teams are spending tons of money. So teams that get promoted get like, I think the article I read last year is teams who get promoted get £1/3 of £1 billion right off the bat. And the teams that get relegated lose a ton of money. So if they end the season today, right? If they just decide they're going to end the season, they're not going to play out the rest of the season, and they declare Liverpool the winner, they're screwing the teams at the bottom of the table a chance to stay up. And they're screwing the teams in the second division a chance to move up because there were a decent number of games left. So they can't end the season and declare a winner. So if they can't play, there will be no winner, which means that the best season that Liverpool has ever had with a historic lead in games would mean that they got bounced out of every competition that they played in, and they still wouldn't have a title, and I would love it. I would bring it up every day. I'd be like, hey, remember that time that you guys had a historic lead over City, and then you still didn't win because you guys are cursed? I do. What is your – I told you I'm petty as hell. What is your favorite thing to happen in the world of sports because of the coronavirus, Marco?
My favorite is pretty brief, but because it's been pretty sad having no sports and watching WrestleMania. I don't know if that constitutes, but I mean, that was a bright spot. But my biggest thing was seeing how nice Mike Conley's gym was at his house during that horse competition.
My God,
like, damn, bro. That's how I would do it if I had Mike Conley money. That's that.
Didn't Mike Conley also have like the best video quality? Like,
everything. The best
like
shot.
Trey looked like he was shooting on an Android on Snapchat. Like,
and it was crazy. The WNBA players, they were like playing them. I don't even know why.
The WNBA player, we're playing like on double rims on uneven concrete.
One was in the cold. She was in the cold, and her son couldn't hold the camera straight. It's like, oh my God.
Micah, what's your favorite sports thing to happen because of the Rona?
Ooh. Come back to me on that one. I got to think more.
Ryan?
I think it's just kind of getting the insight into these players' lives outside of sports. It's the distance between us and athletes has shrunk tremendously because of all of this. They've become way more engaged. They've really opened up to people and the fans, and they've done a lot more one-on-ones or even, chats with fans and things like that. But it's been kind of cool to really not so much take them down a notch, but to have them really open up to the fans, let us see what's going on, keeping us in the loop.
Yeah, they feel kind of like real people.
Yeah, exactly. Just really athletic, really rich people.
Right, but like
in their mansion.
Some of them are really bad at 2K though. So
Boy,
like, that's fun.
KD, that was the best thing. KD getting bounced in the first round, I loved it because he was talking so much cash shit. He was like, I'm going to run over these cats, blah, blah, blah. And he got bounced in the first round by Derrick Jones. I was like, ah!
Oh, God.
Speaking of, did you guys see that article about how the first time that Dwayne Wade went to Old Navy? Okay, so D Wade, right? Like when he lived in Miami, he couldn't go shopping because like people would like freak out, right? So he had people who would go shopping for him. So he never knew like what shopping was like really, because he was a mega star his whole life. So he moved to LA relatively recently with Gabriel Union, and he's just like one famous person in LA, and he's like not even like the most famous person in LA. Like he's like in LA, he's like LeBron's friend.
Right. He didn't even play for
whatever. Right. So they're like, you haven't been to the Oscar? Like LA sucks. So this means that D-Wade can go shopping and stuff like that, right? So he was talking about how he went to Old Navy, and he thought that milk cost $20 a gallon. But he went to Old Navy, and he got all these clothes, and like tons and tons and tons of clothes, which is hilarious to me because now you can tell that D-Wade is like actually like an old man because he goes and shops at Old Navy.
Right. I'm like,
he's like, man, their shirts really have a lot of room, and they've got those fun like funny things printed on the t-shirt. So he comes up to the checkout and he's like, I thought it was gonna be like $10,000. It was like $500. And he was like, how much does a shirt cost? $20. He thought his shirts cost like $150 at Old Navy. Dwayne Wade didn't know how much Old Navy cost, and that should tell you everything you need to know about the rich. And also it makes me like Dwayne Wade just a little bit, because Gabrielle Union was telling the story about him. It was like dragging him. Like she's like,
she loves clowning him.
She does.
Did
you hear the way that she picked him up? She was like at his at a game, and I guess when his wife was there or something, and she walked up to him and she's like, "Oh yeah, tell D Wade I'm a big fan of his." And then she
All right, Micah, favorite Rona induced sports thing. Is it that they're replaying all of the old sports games on TV now because they don't have anything new?
I get to watch 80s basketball again.
You get to watch the 95 Braves.
95 World Series was actually, because I had forgotten a lot of it because I was like 8 when it was actually on. But to be honest with you, mine is for Carmelo, because I was rooting for Carmelo to get signed. He finally gets signed by Portland, and he doesn't have a chance to mess that up by playing terribly analytically. So he might actually continue to get signed.
Carmelo is saved by Corona.
You mean Atlanta Hawks legend Carmelo Anthony?
Right. Because when they missed the playoffs, it wasn't going to be a good look.
Right.
And and that Vince at least got to go out with a 3. And that was like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
So would you guys be happy if the Hawks announced at the end of the season that Vince Carter was now our head coach?
No.
I don't know if we'd be happy. No, I wouldn't be happy. If he was an assistant coach, maybe.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, there's only one person who should be head coach of the Atlanta Hawks, and that's Becky with the good hair. Give me Becky.
Becky Hammond. She's going to be the coach of the Knicks. She's going to be the coach of the Knicks.
God,
that's a death sentence. Yeah,
there is no.
That's why
it's sort of like when it's like when Todd Bowles went to the Jets. Like you're just like, that's it for him. That's it. He'll never be a head coach again.
Like, see, I gave you a chance. It was going to be the Spurs, but they're going to give that to Timmy.
Yeah.
I'm really scared that like a terrible organization is gonna sign Becky, and she's like the Knicks, and she's gonna blow up. Yeah, and she's gonna blow up because the organization is trash, and then she's never gonna get another head coach job, and then we won't have a woman head coach for like 40 years.
Well, she could be like Eddie,
coach,
like Whoopi Goldberg and Eddie, just be this like great female head coach.
Obscure movie reference for the day.
Obscure.
That was pretty good. It took me like it took me like 2 minutes to be like,
oh yeah,
it's like, and then I figured it out. Yeah. All right, lightning round. No time to think. It's got to be right off the cuff. Everybody saw my son Jackson in the background.
Wait, am I not announcing my bench team? Are we cutting that segment?
Oh, I forgot that. Let's do the bench team. I'm so sorry.
I worked hard on this.
So I gave you guys a little bit of background. I gave you guys an assignment. I said, what is the best starting 5 in the NBA, right, that you could assemble from bench players from across the league, all right? No starters. If Lou Williams isn't on all of your picks, I'm going to throw you all out the window. I wish I had that, like, around the horn, like, muting, like, effect, you know what I mean, where I could, like, freeze frame you guys and start assigning points. All right, let's start with Marco because he was so excited about it. Who's your best backup five?
You're gonna be disappointed in me, and I'd be really interested to see how this team
hovering over the
perform.
boot button right now. I'm gonna boot you right out.
I'm very interested to see how this team would perform in 2K. Okay, so my starting point guard should come as no surprise. This is my 6th man of the year, Dennis Schroeder, averaging 19 points per game, 4 assists, 46% from the field, 38 from 3. That's like really good numbers. So I'm going really small. My 2 guard, D Rose, he's shooting 50%, 18 points per game. His 3-point is like sort of suspect, but he hasn't really been shooting them. This is the one that's shocking a little bit, but I'm not picking Lou Will, because Lou Will plays no defense and he's shooting like 40% from the field and like low 30s from the 3. So I went with Seth Curry. and he's averaging 12 points a game, 50% from the field, 45 from three. So I think he's a threat. My power forward is Montrezl Harrell, 18 points, 7 rebounds. And actually, I'm going to play him at center, and my power forward is going to be Davis Bertans, my bad. 15 points per game, 42% from the three-point line. I think that will help us win games.
Bye, Marco. Sorry, once I figured out that I could like put you in like video timeout in the waiting room, like I had to do it. So like actually I like that lineup, but that was thanks Marco, appreciate it.
Sorry.
Lou Will does not appreciate it, but Seth Curry?
Yeah, you clown Lou Williams for no defense, and you got Seth Curry.
Seth Curry is shooting 50% from the field, 45
But you said
from
no
three.
defense, and then put Seth Curry in.
But I also said that he's shooting 40% from the field and like low 30s from the three.
Have you seen Lou Williams in the playoffs?
You got to consider the whole season, man. It's not the playoffs.
Everybody see Jackson in the background?
Yo.
Ooh. So Marco is the next head coach of the Houston Rockets. He's in the D'Antoni coaching tree. Ryan, give me that top bottom five, if you know what I mean.
Okay, so I'm not going to give you the
Top
stats like
five.
Marco. You've heard most of these. At the point, I'm going to go Dennis Schroeder. I wrestled a lot between him and Derrick Rose running the point, but I just don't trust Rose's knees. At the two, I'm going to go Lou Williams just because he's a beast. He can also bring up the ball if Schroeder's being a little too Schroeder for you. At the three, I've got Jay Crowder for your grit and your 3-and-D. At the four, I've got one of the Morris brothers and Marcus Morris for the stretch four and just being a bully. And at the five, I've got Montrezl Harrell to play the five. He's just an absolute stud. Defense, rebounding, can score down low, can get out and run too for a big man.
So if you have Marcus Morris, do you also have Marquise Morris because they're identical twins and you just like swap them out?
Doesn't one start?
They won't notice.
Micah.
So, D Rose at the one.
Nice.
Lou at the two. Gotta go Lou. At the three, who did I have? Well, yeah, I'm just go with him just because I like him and I don't think he really got enough of a shot. But Michael Porter Jr. At the four, I said Marcus Morris, and at the five it was Montrezl Harrell.
Michael just have a really tall team.
Right. Yeah. It's the anti Marcos team.
Well, I do have Williams, who brings my height down a lot.
That's true. I actually didn't do it, so
That's fine then.
I'm just gonna tell you the players that I would want to have on my team. It's just gonna be the entire bench of the Golden State Warriors.
The current Golden State Warriors?
Yeah.
Do we even know their names?
So you mean the starters?
The starters
Right.
for the Golden State Warriors. No, because Clay and Seth and those guys are all on the bench right now. So the bench of the Golden State Warriors.
That's true. Well, Stephen just come back.
I see what you did right
Just
there.
came back.
You can do that with Brooklyn too. Good one.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant and Kyrie.
But best. All right. So the follow-on from this is that I think next time we do this podcast, we'll do a draft. We'll go in order. We're gonna pick a division. We're gonna do some 2K sim action, right? We can watch the games if you guys want to, however you guys want to do it. But we're gonna see who can pick the best B team, A team, right? In 2K, which should be really, really fun because 2K makes no sense, and it's gonna be great. All right, Did I forget? Can we go lightning round now? Does anybody remember if I forgot anything else? All right. Lightning round. Quick.
Lightning effects.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just edit it in and post. I'll fix my light too that went out partway through. Like put it in Blender. Who is the most consequential single individual in Atlanta sports? Micah, of all time.
Oh.
You got to pick.
Vic.
Yep, it's got to be a gut reaction.
Vic.
Michael Vick.
Yep.
That's like the most Micah. Actually, I was going to say Michael Vick too for a while, but I have a different pick. Ryan.
Jamal Anderson, the Dirty Bird,
Flashing his penis.
Yeah, masturbating in the movie theater, doing cocaine in bathrooms.
I'm done with that. Okay, Mako.
Wait, what was the question one more time?
The single most influential individual in Atlanta sports history.
Influential individual. Oh, I thought you were just I was gonna say Joseph just because he won a title, but maybe he's not that influential.
Lightning, bro.
It has to be Michael Vick then if influential is the thing.
Arthur Blank.
That's your answer?
Hey, that's not a bad answer.
It's not a bad answer.
I think Arthur Blank. Okay, before Arthur Blank bought the Falcons, we were not consistent. We didn't have back-to-back winning seasons. Atlanta was a baseball town, right? And now it has the Benzo. We've got Atlanta United, won the first championship in Atlanta since 1995. Even if it's not, a major sport here, it's a big deal. You have tons of events down there. He's been great for the city. But then the other thing is that the Falcons have played in, 2 NFC championship games, 1 Super Bowl. And he did all of this with, like, a decent front office. You know what I mean? Like, he takes care of his players. I think Arthur Blank for me, just as far as, like, what he's done for sports for the city. You know what I mean? If I was picking an athlete, it was going to be Mike Vick.
Yeah.
Or Chipper.
Yeah.
I was going to say Chipper would be my one.
I don't know how influential he was.
Chip?
I just don't know how I know he was in commercials and stuff.
Think about how many switch hitters wanted to be Chipper Jones.
That's true.
How young?
He's a big name.
You're so much younger than us, though, Marco. I think that's the thing.
Yeah. Or how many kids wanted to be switch hitters just because of Chipper Jones?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The only thing that I need to know about Chipper Jones is that he named his kid Shea because of how bad he beat the crap out of the Mets at Shea Stadium every year, and that's my favorite. And he saved Freddie Freeman on a snowmobile during the snowpocalypse.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
I think Chipper Jones' name is the most synonymous with Atlanta is what I think.
I think so. But Arthur's it seems like he talks the talk and walks the walk, you know what I mean? Like he's paying all of his staff and even though it's shut down, he's the guy, which is why I think we gotta go win the Lombardi for Uncle Arthur, which is why I'm gonna petition to have the entire coaching staff of the Atlanta Falcons fired and replaced with Madden Sim. We're going to ask Madden our way through the season because it can't be much worse. All right, let's close the episode out. Okay, so if you guys know anything about me, it's that I love America, I love my family, and I love barbecue. Barbecue is almost a religion to me. My favorite barbecue restaurant, I just found out, Greater Good in Tucker, is closing forever.
No.
Yeah, they're not reopening. Now, Greater Good, they didn't have the best sides, okay, which made Jess mad, but the ribs were so good, man. The barbecue's good, the ambiance was good. We were there for my going away party before I went up to Baltimore. That's my spot. But they're closing forever. So what is your barbecue restaurant recommendation in the Atlanta area? Ryan, kick us off.
I'm gonna go with B's Crackling. I don't know if anybody's eaten there, but good Lord, that's some of the best barbecue I've ever had.
Where's that?
It's the original one burned down. I don't know where they moved to. I haven't been, but
That's how you know it's good.
Yeah, I know, right? Anything that is coated in that much grease. It's in Savannah, though.
Okay.
I think they were right off of River Street. So not quite Atlanta, but Savannah's
Close enough if you're a foodish.
Right.
Micah, what's your barbecue? What's your barbecue, man?
Very much biased because I also work there, but Ray Southern Foods, great barbecue, great sides. Pretty much everything's made from scratch. So, yeah, I mean, plus they got other stuff other than barbecue if folks don't eat barbecue. I love that place.
Mako.
Well, I'm a vegetarian, so I'm just playing, guys. No.
I was about to say, since when?
No. So
you're about to go back in timeout.
If you drive down Roswell, there's literally a place that just says BBQ on the sign. And they have these fried ribs. Those are so fun.
Oh, baby.
So and their sides are bomb, too.
I've got two. The first one is Community Q in Decatur.
Community's really good.
Yeah, Claremont and North Decatur Road. Their mac and cheese is unbelievable. The only problem though is that it feels too much like millennial hipster white people doing a barbecue restaurant. It feels kind of inauthentic. It's delicious, but when I'm in there, it's not quite the right feeling. So my number one recommendation is going to be Tipsy Pig Barbecue. It's inside an Exxon station at the corner of Dogwood Road and Five Forks Trickham. There's a wrought iron pig out front, and in the corner of this Exxon station is a barbecue restaurant. And their peach cobbler, the first time I ate this thing, man, it was a religious experience for me. And it's one guy whose name is Buddy, and he's got one helper, and that's it. And he's like, you don't get here early enough, man, you're not going to get no peach cobbler. It goes real fast, man. So if you're ever up Lawrenceville way, up here by me in Trillburn, Lilburn is hip. Tipsy Pig, it's in a gas station. Just eat it anyway. Live a little bit. That's it. All right, thank you so much. This has been the Fish and Grits podcast. We were brought to you today by my crushing depression. Our title music is by Vitiles, my boy Juan Solano. Hit him up on Instagram, on Snapchat, on Facebook. The guy's a master. You can find us on Twitter at Fish and Grits Pod, and we're going to have more social media as it comes up. Jets, any final thoughts? Micah, words of wisdom.
Quarterbacks are overpaid nowadays.
Oh, my God. That's it. All right. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.